Hey everybody, welcome back to the Siren podcast. My guest today is Bubba Dossett from Brazen Skateboards. It's a skateboard shop here in Hattiesburg. It's right in front of Walmart, the Walmart on Highway 98. So they sell skateboard decks, grip tape, wheels, trucks, everything you need to get started skateboarding. Make sure, head over there, check him out, buy some skateboards, shoes, whatever. Buy everything in the store. Go over there and check it out. So before we get started, the first thing that I want to talk about is this Saturday. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, if this is Wednesday, make sure and do when I say do, I mean submit your tasty riff submissions, which is you playing an instrument, singing, whatever, some sort of musical instrument, playing it for 20 seconds, film it with your phone, film it with the biggest cinema camera in the world with a full crew. I don't care. However you film it, send it in to me. I'm going to put together a compilation for the live stream that's coming up this Saturday. So the 6th at 8 o'clock. So make sure and get that turned into me. If you can't think of anything, then I don't care. Just like bang on your guitar or whatever. Even if you can't think of anything, send it in. It's going to be a fucking awesome time. So, second, I'm also going to be playing songs from you. So, original songs, or if you want to play a cover song, as long as it is not on Atlantic Records or something like that. As long as it's your song. You don't have to be from here. If you're watching me in California and you want to send one in, send it in. Also for the tasty riff. Also, if you want to send in any kind of artwork you do, if you're a cook, if you're I don't know, if you polish stones, I don't know what y'all do, send it in and I'll show it off on the podcast and talk about it. I'm here to be the siren for you, for the internet. So make sure and send those in to me. If you just want me to talk about something, send it in to me. I don't care. I am open to people contacting me and talking to me. So make sure and do that for sure. Lastly, if you have any merch that you want me to advertise on the podcast, I'd be more than happy to do that. I wish I could buy everybody's shirts or stickers or footwear, whatever you got, but I'm unable to do so. So send me in a shirt, sticker, something like that. I'll wear it on the show. I'll hang it up on my wall. I was thinking about making one of my walls a local band advertisement area. Who knows? But if you can't do that, I understand if you can't send in something to me right now. So send in a link, send in a picture of it and a way for me to direct people to buy your products. I would love to do that for you. Lastly, if you have any kind of news, if you're recording a new album, got a show coming up, whatever, send it in to me and I will announce it on the show. So if you got any kind of news, make sure and send that over to me. Also, every week I am putting out a new video called Gear Item of the Week, where I'll be going over a piece of gear in my studio. Probably some sort of guitar, pedal, maybe my drum set here, microphone, whatever. Some kind of gear. And I'll just be talking about it, playing on it, doing a little demo of it. Also, I would also like if you guys have some kind of cool gear that you want to talk about, call up and we'll talk about it. So probably once a week I do a live call-in show. So I know you guys have seen it. If you want to call in, just call in. I'll send you a little link. You click on it, brings up a little thing on your phone. We can talk. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about music, talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. And also be playing and jamming songs. So if you want me to play a particular song, I'll play it for you if I can. So with all of that out of the way, which took for fucking ever, with all of that out of the way, we're going to get right to the show. The show today, I have on Bubba Dossett of Brazen Skateboards from right here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Really cool guy. You can tell he really loves skating and really cares about the skating community, which is Really fucking cool and really awesome. So make sure and check out his shop if you're into skateboarding. Even if you're not, he can set you up with whatever you need. Even if you just have old pieces lying around, he can help you get something up and running. He's got everything you need to get a skateboard going. If you just want to buy some shirts or stickers or any kind of apparel like that, he's also got some of that stuff. It's right in front of Walmart on Highway 98. So make sure and check out his shop. So he was a really awesome guy. We talked about skateboarding things, all kinds of stuff, all things skateboarding. And then for the last half of the show, we got into conspiracy theories, which was really cool. So you'll want to stick around for that. Watch the whole damn show. So let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubba Dossett from Brazen Skateboards.
I mean, come on, man. Look at that's an awesome conversation starter. Like, you bring a bitch to your house, like, yeah, I got this fucking moon rock, bro.
You want to touch it?
Yeah,
And hold it?
this bitch came from the moon. I mean, I'll chip you off a little piece, but
All right, everybody, we're live. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Didn't know anybody who wanted to talk to me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
As far as I know, I mean, are there other skate shops in Hattiesburg? Or are you the only one?
We got the Zoomies in the mall, and that's pretty much it. You have one in New Orleans and Cheney and Jackson.
Oh, well, yeah, man, that's cool. I mean, the only other skate shop I've ever heard of was in Laurel. I think it was in a couple of different places, but I guess it was all the same thing in that skate park.
Yeah, I mean, we used to go up there for sure.
Yeah, I think it's cool that there's still an active skate community in our area and a place to go and buy a skateboard instead of having to go online and stuff. And I think it's rad that you're still out there doing it, at least giving everybody a place to go to.
Yeah, I like doing it. I like putting on the grip tape, and the kids come in and they want to know what's the best and what's this for. So it's kind of fun. Tell them these wheels are for that and watch them get better at it.
Yeah. I myself skateboarded from, I was probably in sixth grade up until, I don't know, maybe 9th or 10th grade. And then I stopped and skated a little bit after that. So I've always been a huge fan of skateboarding myself. I've actually got, hang on. So I dug this out of my closet just for this. This is my first skateboard I ever had. It's a Birdhouse. I had to have the Birdhouse back then. It's the Falcon 3.
Right.
You remember the Tony Hawk Falcon 3? Man, I got
It looks like you wrote it.
Yeah, I rode the hell out of it. And I was going to keep it and not break it because I was like, man, I got another skateboard. And one day I was like, I'm going to ride it. And the first trick I did, I broke it. And I regret it.
All old and dried up.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
But you still have it, though.
Yeah, I still got all my skateboards somewhere, but that's my first one, so I'm never going to get rid of that one for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what does brazen mean? Where did you come up with that? Is it a
It means bold and without shame.
Okay.
But I had a a girl call me that one time, and I knew I wanted to do a company,
Yeah.
and I know the name, and you don't want to, you know, one didn't just hit me. And when she said that, I was like, hey, I kind of like that, and we went with it.
That's awesome, man. What got you into wanting to open up a shop? Just being a skateboarder? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got to do something to make money. You got to work.
Yeah.
So tried to make it go that way, you know.
That's pretty rad, man. So do you have skateboards? I saw some pictures. Like, do you make your own skateboards or get them printed? Or
They're made in Georgia at Drifter, but we send them our graphics, and they send us the board back. So we keep those in the shop, and they're a little bit cheaper than the pro boards. So sell a lot of them, and they're really good.
That's cool, man. What does skateboards cost nowadays for like a complete set?
Ours are $55, and that's the same I paid for mine in the '80s. So that hasn't gone up that much. But you got they do different things to them now. You can get, like, I don't know if you can see this, but see how it's got like it makes it stronger.
Oh,
it's got like an impact grip. Yeah. So that can get expensive, but usually $55, $60 to get the deck.
So I have a question. When I was little, there were a set of bearings called Bones Swiss Ceramic, and we'd always look at them, and they were $100 or $89. What's the deal with those?
I guess the ceramic makes them better, because I heard that a steel BB is going to have a flat spot on it regardless of how much you polish it.
Yeah.
So ceramic can be truly round. I could be blowing smoke. I don't know. But that's what I've heard. And everybody always asks if you have them. They don't ever buy them.
They just want to see them.
Those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even get those. I get the Swiss. And still no one buys those either.
Yeah, I always used the black ones. I don't remember what they're called. There's Bones Reds, and then they're...
Yeah, I could only buy Bones Reds, and everyone would be happy.
Yeah?
That's cool, if they have any, I just like, get the Reds. That's usually what they ask for. But I get all the other brands too. But that's definitely America's #1 seller.
Yeah.
Out of here, anyways.
So, go ahead.
I said they just have a good reputation. Everybody remembers Bones Brigade, Bones Reds.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So, how long you been skating overall? You said the '80s. That's a long time.
Since the 3rd and 4th grade. So that would be like 1984, 5.
Wow.
Right around there.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah. I went to North Forest School.
Yeah.
And they did the, what did you call it? The book fair.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get to go to the library and you get to keep it. You get to get a magazine or a book and take it. And there was a skateboard magazine. It wasn't like a Thrasher or nothing, but it had the dudes with the flop, with the Tony Hawk hair and the slime ball wheels and all that.
Yeah.
And I got to take that. I studied that, and I wanted to be like that, you
know. Did they have? Was that like I don't know what you call them. They were more pointed, or were they regular shape at that point, like they are now?
Yeah, no. Like, I guess you'd call it maybe a fish shape, big tail.
Yeah.
Kind of flat, and you'd watch the videos of the guys riding them in the bowls.
Yeah.
Like the Omar bowls and all that. You could rent it at Ray's Rent-A-Movie sometime. Watch that, and we would go try to do that stuff and do the hand plants, but on the ground.
Yeah.
It's didn't ramp. Yeah, and then we started trying to build the ramps and stuff. So it's just like you would imagine.
It's straight up 80s riding. Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, Swatch watches, all that stuff.
Converse, was that Converse era?
Yeah, and they didn't cost that much, so you could get a couple pair and wear 2 different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if kids do this anymore, but we flipped them down, lace them up, and flip them down. Like, that was the way you did that.
The way you did that. We had ours were Etnies and Bands and.
Yeah, I was grown by the time the movies came out.
Yeah.
the Sal 23s, and they had the little elastic thing that holds it onto your foot.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they made a shoe just for skateboarding. This is awesome.
Yeah. The ones that I would have were like as big as 2 feet. They were just all padding on your feet, but really small toes.
But that look was cool then.
Yeah.
I think that Cali cut with the E on the side of it and it had the little bitty toe and the big tongue.
Yeah.
I think that was their biggest sellers because I saw them everywhere in like pink and blue and white and blue, and we sold a lot of them too.
Yeah, people would wear those that didn't skateboard. They were just in style, you know. Yeah,
and Gwen Stefani kind of had that look, and she was popular when those came out, and all the girls wore them.
Oh, so
never hearing a lady say, "I'm looking for this look."
I didn't realize Gwen Stefani was doing that, but she's the original non-skater wearing skate apparel.
Well, you know, she just had that look with the fat shoes.
Yeah, that's sick.
I think girls wanted that. They wanted those fat shoes.
So, I remember when I was coming up, it was Hurley and Etnies and all that stuff, and at some point it kind of evolved into almost like a hip hop type apparel that all the skateboarders were wearing, with like flat billed hats, like big flat billed hats. That was past my time.
On there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the trends come through. You know, they'll come through. That'll come back through again. I remember the tight pants.
Oh yeah.
I did that one. Yeah, it was cool. Black little rock and roll pants were fun, and I remember the hats. And there's a lot of different trends in there. You got the hip hop skaters, and then it's more all together now though. But back then, you had that, like the rock and roll dudes, and they all dressed that way, and they even kind of skated different. Like the hip hop guys, I noticed were really good at the nollie tricks, and the flip tricks, and then the blue jean guys would just try to jump down the handrail like some kind of what do you call them? Like a stunt man or something. Not that much skill, but hell, I'll try it.
Yeah, man, I've seen some of them people do that, and that's not for me, man. Jumping down like a 12 set or.
That's not for most people. You can try it, and then if it don't kill you, you can repeat it. You know.
There was a video.
Special kind of.
There was a video a long time ago. A guy jumped down this huge set of stairs and landed, you know, like on his board like this, and started screaming. I think it like ripped his sack open and stuff.
That does happen.
Yeah. I've had it happen.
It does happen.
I've had that happen, but not from, you know, essentially jumping 15 feet off of something, or 20 feet, however far you're going.
Well, it's a high risk sport, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I guess you get a lot of glory for sliding down that rail.
Well, you know, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had Tony Hawk on, and he said
I saw that.
Yeah, he was saying at the original X Games, they called skateboarding an extreme sport, but the skateboarders were pissed off because they kind of grouped it in with skydiving and rock climbing, and they were kind of like, skateboarding's not really extreme like
right.
You know, like skydiving or whatever the other stuff was, but they kind of just grouped it in because they didn't know what to call the X Games or what to brand as the X Games.
They have to market it, and they want to market all those things. So it'd be cool if they all went into one thing.
They were just like, yeah, skateboarding's extreme now, but that's how it became an extreme sport. I thought that was pretty interesting how that.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people skate because of those things, though. You know.
Yeah.
Like kids see it. I would think so. I'd like to think that.
Well, when I started skateboarding, I didn't know anybody that skateboarded besides, like, I'd seen it, you know, on like TV and stuff. But I didn't know anybody skateboarded. My grandmother just got me some cheap. It was like a Walmart skateboard that had a NASCAR on the bottom of it from Walmart for like $10. And I just started rolling around on that and eventually figured out, how to ollie and stuff. But there wasn't a lot of people around doing it. Maybe it was just a lull or maybe I just didn't know anybody at that point.
There's just not that many people here, I think.
Yeah.
Period. To be doing a lot of one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I met skate. As I got better at it, you'd want to skate with the better dudes. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of around, but that this one's in college or this guy might be in the army or something. And when I was younger, most of them were in college and you'd come to town and skate with those guys. And then even people would come from out of town. You'd kind of all meet up together and do it on the weekends, like at USM and stuff.
Yeah.
Meet people you didn't know. Mm-hmm. But no, there's not that many. But they're out there.
So is there a park? I know they opened a park in Laurel. Is there one around here?
Yeah, there's the one in Petal, the one in Laurel. Wiggins has a park. They came in talking about putting one on Monroe Road last month, but I don't know. But they're going to do that still. But there's those two, and those two are good. The Laurel's at the Daphne Park. I skated it once so far, and I liked it.
Yeah, I went. They used to have one. They had a skate park set up at Daphne Park when I was skating, and it was just a open concrete area with a fun box. Mm-hmm. That was all they had.
I've heard of it. I never saw it. We used to go there. There's 2 gray rails in the front of that building, whatever that is. We would try to skate those back in the day.
Do you remember soap shoes?
Yeah, with the little curvy pad.
With the grind, yeah. I used to hit those rails at the Cameron Center at Daphne with the soap shoes. You think like, oh, it's easier. I can get on the rail and you can do like a 5 set or something. If you hit like a 12, you're hauling ass when you get to the end and you got to land on your feet. It doesn't work as well as you think it would.
No, you got to hit running.
Yeah.
I saw some guys at the skate park doing it, but they were on a box and it was like, you could kind of get it like, oh, you got to still, across the thing.
Yeah.
You can't just stop and right off the end of it.
But you go, it was.
Yeah, I bet a bunch of people died on those soap shoes. I haven't seen any in a while.
Yeah, they stopped making them.
Man, that got pulled. Yeah.
They were tired of getting sued.
You ever see the dudes try the escalator?
They're
going to slide down it. They realize, oh, holy moly, I'm going way too fast. By the time they get to the bottom, it like shoots them out.
I haven't seen that.
You can Google it. It's not. It doesn't end pretty. And sometimes there's little like things in the middle because somebody's tried it before and they get that. But that reminded me of that. Well, I just like to skateboard, and I'm from here. And I could have moved off and done it somewhere else, where there might have been more people that do it, but I knew it would work here. You just do it.
Well, you got a really.
And we have the and everything.
Yeah, you got a badass location too, right there in the middle. I mean, right by Walmart. That's pretty.
And I'm very grateful for all of that. I don't feel like any of it just happened to happen. I just try to do what I do, and things usually work out.
How long have you been open now?
Here since 2010, and then we had Westside down there since, I think it opened in 2001, maybe 2002, and we had that for 5 or 6 years.
Oh wow!
I've been in this spot a pretty long time,
I'm telling you, a lot of restaurants and stuff don't even stay open 10 years. So you're doing something right,
I like to skateboard.
Well,
I think that's the main ingredient.
That's good because there can be in some, especially kind of niche things like, and I say niche, but like skateboarding or even like playing guitar, people can get kind of snobby and like I'm not going to talk to this guy. I'm a better at whatever.
Right.
Obviously, you're not doing that because you're still there. That shuts businesses down because people don't feel like they can come in.
Well, I've felt us going that way before. Most people who come in here, it's like a real core skate shop, and they'll buy their board and be like, oh, I'm no good at it. I'm no good at it. And I'm like, no one is. Just go to the skate shop to the skate park and be cool and hang out, and you'll make a bunch of skateboard friends. But I think everybody kind of has that stigma that I'm not good at it, so everybody's going to pick on me.
Yeah.
And maybe years ago it was like that, but now everybody's just at the park with their kids and strollers, and it's a park.
Yeah.
No big.
That's cool, man. I've thought about getting back into skating, but I have a feeling I would just hurt myself at this point in my life.
You're gonna fall off of it.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't even lie to the parents when they're like, it's gonna get hurt. I'm like, he's probably might even break his arm. But if you want him to do it, let him go try and do it.
At least try it.
That's always. Yeah. You can tell if they're not really going for it. They're not gonna try to jump off of anything, so you really shouldn't worry. And then the guys who want to pursue it and be a skater, every now and again something's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
And they're going to something.
I'm telling you,
it's just part of it.
A little rock, just a tiny pebble, can really mess you up on a skateboard. That's happened so many times to me, just hauling ass and then just and you fly off the front of the skateboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're moving, and then when you stop really quick, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then so much goes into it. Like, you could have been doing all these tricks yesterday, and then you go to do it today. Maybe the temperature's different. Maybe you didn't eat right, or you're stressed out, and it can have an effect, and you're not even thinking about that. And then you'll be laying on the ground like, what? What? I guess I need to pay attention today.
Yeah. This is...
You never know.
This is why I quit skateboarding. Why I was just like, you know what, I'm done with doing this. First of all, I didn't have health insurance at the time, and I was at Rapture Skate Park, and they had a little. It was like a little ramp you could drop into, and there was a fun box with a rail on it. And I tried to do a hard flip over that. Okay, so. I wish I had a little tech deck or something, but I don't have anything. Let's pretend this is the skateboard. So when I did the hard flip, it went up to do the hard, but it ended up sideways like this. My foot was under it, and my top foot landed on top of it from about, 2 feet in the air, 3 feet in the air on my big toe. And my whole weight landed on the side of the board, which was on top of my big toe. And I couldn't walk for a while. I guess I broke it. And I was like, man, if I broke something else, I would be out of luck because I couldn't afford the hospital.
They'll do it. It'll work out.
They'll just send you a bill.
This is America. Just go live and then take it. They're not going to let you die.
I guess they can't turn you down at an emergency room. They have to.
It doesn't even really work that way. If you get hurt, just go to the hospital and, they'll guide you through the process or whatever needs to be done.
Technically,
there's something for
they'll try to get you, but you don't have to give them a real name or anything. You can just be like,
I've heard that.
Yeah, they have to take you.
It says it on the thing in the emergency room. You cannot be
refused.
You can't be refused for anything. So they're going to patch you up, and you're going to live.
Yeah,
you might not get destructive athletic surgery on your tendons.
Yes, my name is John Smith. I have no social security number or address, and I have a broken arm.
Mm.
Yeah,
I've heard of it. I went in one time, and they offered, if you pay half, that'll work. If you do it right now.
Huh.
They're like, okay, here's your bill, but if you pay for half of it now, that's enough.
So. I bet a lot of hospitals that had a lot of issues with that were probably like, at least we can get half if we make them pay it up front, because we know they're not going to come back.
They don't get up. But it all works out.
Yeah.
If we can send rockets to the moon, we can fix everybody on Earth.
Well, we could send them.
Why not?
Send them to Mars with Elon Musk doing all this crazy shit. Maybe.
Yeah, I see him there. So they're going to go to Texas, huh?
Who?
Elon Musk?
Oh, I don't know.
I heard told them to come arrest him at the plant when they were talking about shutting down the plant. So
Oh, did they? I didn't hear
they
that.
would move to Texas. It's hard to keep up with it. It all moves too fast now.
Yeah, you got to be on top of it. I just heard that they were launching. Well, they were supposed to launch rockets yesterday or the day before yesterday, but it was the first time in, I don't know, 10 years since
I think this one has people on it.
Yeah, it's got people on it for the first time because NASA stopped doing it. We were going to Russia to go to space. We had to go to space. We had to go to Russia.
That's what they.
But now Musk is, Elon Musk just popped up out of nowhere. I have no idea where that guy came from. Just one day he's like, by the way, I'm making the fastest car on the planet and sending people to space and digging holes under Los Angeles.
Very influential.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't know how that works. They're just characters that they prop up and they put them on the TV screen, and you either say, okay, I'll follow this story, or I won't. You know what I mean?
Got like a puppet behind making him talk.
I don't know how it all works. I just know it probably ain't what it seems. But that's okay.
Like we need a new character. Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. He's from.
Who was the guy before him that talked in the straw? He was in the wheel.
That was Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I think we almost forgot about him.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what that was.
Well, he had Lou Gehrig's disease, if I'm not mistaken. And you're supposed to only live a couple years off that, but he lived like forever. That's why he was in that wheelchair.
Just visually, he came on TV. I don't know how he manipulated the thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had
like,
a little.
How did he talk?
I could tell you how he did it. So it was all pre-scripted. So he never like chatted back and forth with somebody. He would have he had a thing where he could blow into a little tube, and you could like everything he typed would have to be like, he'd blow like A and then blow again and go to B and blow again and go to C, and he'd have to do that, and then something else would make it like select that letter.
That's too much.
Well,
he should have been like the boss and then gave us a representative.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, what else? I mean, this sounds bad, but what else was he doing in his free time?
I don't know.
He had to.
I don't know what any of these people really do. I watched the YouTube stuff, so
yeah,
you can only imagine.
Yeah. Stephen Hawking, everybody, yeah. So I discovered a skateboarder, and I don't remember his name, but the name of his little videos, and you've probably seen it because I think it got a lot of attention even outside of the skateboard community. But he calls it Rodney Mullen on bath salts. Have you seen that?
I never saw it, but I know who Rodney Mullen is.
Well,
and I've heard of bath salts, so I can imagine that it's great.
Well, it's the guy, you might have seen it, where like he tapes a skateboard piece, or like he'll cut a skateboard in half and it's got like a hinge in the middle. So he'll like do a kick flip, but just the front half will spin.
Yeah, I've seen like on Instagram, you'll just see it quick.
Yeah. Well, that stuff is like what got the attention, but him as a skater, he does some shit that I like, that I've never seen anybody do before. It reminded me of Rodney Mullen, because Rodney Mullen came out and was doing like Caspers and dark slides, and no one else was doing that shit. And just to watch him, you were like, how is this even humanly possible? But this new guy, look, I'm gonna tell you, he's probably a famous skateboarder that's been around forever. Let me see if I can just find his name. Maybe it's Rodney Mullen on acid. No, his name is Matt Tomasello.
Matt Tomasello. Just probably a new guy, and I'm old. Like, I don't keep up with the new stuff. It moves too quick. They like, I'm going to skate a glass skateboard. I'm going to skate. It's all like entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's cool and everything. But I just watch old like videos from that are old, like foundation videos and old zero videos and stuff like that.
So, who's your favorite skater?
Jamie Thomas is one of my favorite skaters.
Yeah,
Just because he's a Southern dude. Yeah. But I've got a bunch of them right now. But that's a current like young pro. Probably Colin Provost. He's really good. Let's see who else. That Raven Tershi guy is pretty good. And that's about it. I just watch all the old, like I say, old Foundation Zero videos. And what else? Let's see what was on there today. A New Deal came back out. That's an old company that I liked when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
It's a little thing.
What happened to
But just stuff from like
what happened to World Industries? Are they still a company?
they're back again. And I'm trying to remember this. I'll remember his name. He likes our stuff on Instagram. And they got the decks, the Wet Willie decks and everything, and he's got some shoes too.
Gonzalez?
No, it is a can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, World Industries is still in play. Have you ever seen Man That Sold the World? You can probably watch it on YouTube, but you know how they do a little documentary about everybody now? This one is got a lot of Rodney Mullen in it and a lot to do with all that stuff. Watch Man Who Sold the World. It's kind of old, but I think it's spelled like sold, like shoe sold. But it talks about he's the guy that did World Industries and how all that got started and the problems or whatever they had with that, and then how it got to where it is now. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a good little show. Cool. Lots of Rodney Mullen in there.
Yeah, Rodney Mullen is my favorite skater just because he was doing everything. I mean, shit, it was like everything he did was like, how the hell are you doing this? Or why is this so easy to you? Or looking, at least,
He's
you know?
Talented. I met him one time. He came to Booker's skate shop in Jackson.
Yeah.
And did a demo. He was nice enough. You know, he skated with the kids. I was probably 15 or 16. And he right there. And
that's pretty sick.
Did the demo and they left, but it was cool. He did all of the tricks you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Possible. And the Casper slide that was current at the time. That was when the big pants
fell
off at the bottom days. But it was cool to see him. I think it was Mullen, Guy Mariano, Brian Lottie, and maybe Javante Turner. I think it was called Booker's Skate Shop. But I was pretty young, 14 or 15.
Yeah,
I broke my leg up there skating.
Oh. How many bones have you broken?
Maybe like 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
I broke my toe and outside of South Coast before a contest, and we just taped it to the other toe.
Oh, God.
I never broke a toe before. You can't walk good after that. And it turned all kinds of different colors and everything. Broke the bones on top of my feet, but I jumped off the pavilion at Camper Park and landed on the railroad tie. Not on a skateboard. I was like in the ninja mode at that time. I was like 8 or 9.
Parkour.
And I would have made it, but I landed half on that railroad tie and it broke it. And then broke the leg in Jackson trying to jump a gap, and I slipped and I fell where my butt landed on top of my leg.
Yeah.
Just broke it. Yeah. Had the ACL surgery, and they took out most of the meniscectomy.
Yeah.
Most of that's gone, and I don't know what's going on in there anymore. And then I got this perma bent finger that everybody likes to make fun of, but it's like plated. So I had to choose whether it would stick out or be bent.
Oh, wow.
I went with the bent, but then this part won't work anymore, so it's like that. But I can feel it.
So
it took that part out, the knuckle.
What made you choose?
And it's pointing that way. Don't mess with it.
Leave it like it is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What made you pick curved over straight? I don't know what I would pick in that situation.
I didn't want to stub it. I was
Oh,
scared I would like poke it directly into the ground
yeah,
if I couldn't bend it. You know what I mean? Like that don't bend. That's just all a metal piece. So I think if it was straight out, I would jam it.
yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah,
this, like that holds. See what I'm saying?
yeah,
I had to make a choice.
yeah.
So
Was it
that
was it
way,
like a were they like make a choice now, or were they like, all right, go home and think about it?
you could get it straight, you get it bent, and he kind of let me bend it. I mean, like kind of gauge the bend. I don't think I could bend it, but you get what I'm saying. Or
Yeah.
you could chop it off at the knuckle, and that's what I would have done if I go back now, probably, because that's not really doing nothing. But it's just, but I don't know. I like my finger,
Yeah,
but it gets, yeah,
that's a tough choice.
it is.
That's
I
a
used to
tough.
see those old men when I was little that some of them would be missing fingers, and that didn't look cool. But it's more functional. I think I would have been able to grab stuff better like that.
Yeah.
This kind of bump. Yeah, but whatever. I'll work with it.
Well, go ask them if they'll do that for you. Can they do it now?
You got $1 million to get your finger rebuilt. They actually tried. First, they took bones out of my hand and tried to rebuild that knuckle. But I think we were just asking too much.
Yeah.
And the X-ray, like little bits, like because it broke and was pointing that way, and I just put it back. I thought maybe it was out of socket, and that wasn't it. And they said, don't do that. Just go right to the doctor.
But
it's cool now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. That's intense though. It's some intense stuff.
And I did the rail rack thing. I wasn't ready to talk about it when you brought it up earlier.
The rail rack.
Remember when you talked about sacking on the rail?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did that at the pedal skate park on that flat one. So I got short, nubby legs, so I didn't necessarily sack that hard. My toes almost touched the ground.
Yeah.
But I made it right to the end. Yeah, and it tore my urethra. So I had to wear a bag, like a bag for a while.
Oh man.
I would have rather broke a bone than done that. For sure. Broke both legs. Didn't do that again.
Break all the limbs. I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
So
you never really come back from those things when you mess up your tubes. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be dealing with that forever.
Emotionally and physically, yeah, it's
I got right after I got healed. I went back to the rail and was like, just slide it, and I almost couldn't. I couldn't even hardly slide a flat bar on the ground. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like a little kid bar.
Yeah.
Every time I went to straddle it, my brain went crazy. So I made myself do that and just rail slide that rail again. And no, not emotionally, just tinkle on myself a little bit.
Well, at least it's
nothing I can't handle.
At least it's a cool way it happened. Skateboarding, doing the thing you love. Besides, like I was walking in Walmart and slipped on a banana peel or something.
But when you get old, it's like you have to tell your parents, and you're not professional or don't really get like a paycheck for doing it. You know what I mean? They're like, I think it's time you just coach. Stuff like that. You're like, it doesn't work that way, Mom.
Do you coach? Do they have that kind of stuff?
I just hang out with them. You know what I mean? And if they don't, like say, the dude's like, hey, check this out. And it's, he say clipped it or something. And he did the trick. Like, yeah, you did that. But maybe you should make sure you go all the way over next time. If you can help them out in any way.
Yeah.
Because, you can be lazy on a skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
Just like anything else, you can do a trick. Like, yeah, you did it. But that don't, somebody else can do it way better. So maybe try to get it like I always say, like the boys in the magazines do it, or like the guys on TV. Make it look like that a little bit. The
superstars.
Then they kind of get what you're talking about.
Yeah, speaking of that, so, no one ever told me, like, I learned how to do a kickflip from, like, going on dial-up internet and, like, looking up people telling you how to do it or whatever. And no one ever told me that you're supposed, like for a while, I didn't know this, that you're supposed to catch it before you land. So I would flip it over.
You can.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that that's like the proper way to do it. If you wanted to like jump a ramp or jump down some stairs and stuff, you have to catch it. You can't just like flip it and then land on it on the ground.
If you nerd out on it, you'll watch the videos and you'll see some guys that do it, and then you'll like Reynolds or somebody, they'll do it, and you're like, oh, you can flick it up and have it.
Yeah, you have it like before you're even up to the top.
Land on it. You don't really want to do that where you can flip it and you and the board all meet at the same time on the ground.
Yeah,
it works out sometimes, but you want to have it before you start going down if you can.
Yeah, see, if I would have had a coach or somebody, I would have learned that a lot earlier than just
Surely we'll get a skateboard coach at some point. It was supposed to be in the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
So if we get it at the schools, they'll have to have some sort of coach, administrator, or something over it. Well, I would think, but I don't know.
I mean, you could do skate lessons. Have you thought about that?
We've done those before.
Yeah.
Usually, if the kids want to learn how to skate, they come here, go to the skate park.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if you get a lesson, you get a rad dad and a kid that doesn't really want to get that rad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, but you get him up there and you're like, you want to drop in? We're just starting the bottom. So I kind of let them come to me on the lessons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't even have to be a lesson. Just most of the older guys at the park will teach the younger guys how to skate if they want to learn.
That's cool. Speaking of dropping in at Rage Skate Park, you remember Rage? It was in Hattiesburg.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big ass drop in. It was like a vert wall. And
vert wall with the quarter pipe in the middle of it.
Yeah, like I went there and I saw a bunch of younger kids, younger than me, probably 8 and 9, dropping into that thing, and I was like, I'm pretty good at skateboarding. I'm gonna go up there and drop off that thing. And I went up there and I was like, there's no way I'm dropping into this damn thing. It was completely different than what you think. You see on TV, especially like X Games, like the vert. That's a lot bigger than you think it is, right?
Yeah, and it's not as easy as it looks. Yeah. But you got to take such baby steps. Like when you used to go to the roller dome and people couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then if you go there a while, you go backwards and do all the stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but you got to take it in baby steps or you get hurt. So a lot of people don't do it, and then they're like, I want to do this now, and they don't work up to it.
Yeah.
You got to work up and then those big ramps. Start in the bottom and go,
Yeah.
I think you got to build muscles you don't even use for anything else. Just kind of get it. And then some of the kids are like a duck on water once they get past that part. They're like, oh, I get it. And it's not as easy for some of the others, but they still get it. But you can see it on them. Like some people sweat and they look like they're about to fall down the whole time, but they still power through everything. And then some people, it's nothing to them. And it's like they're, just flying around. And then there's everything between.
There was I say little kid, a younger kid that did a 1080 in a regular vert ramp recently, which is ridiculous. Like young kid, whenever I think it was maybe Ryan Sheckler, he came out and like won the X Games Street one year. Like that's crazy. Like I don't know what the difference is. Like how younger kids started getting so good. What do you think? What do you think?
There's more. You got the skate camps that they can go to at any age. They can start going when they're young and keep going, and they have all the ramps to try it on. So you can go ahead and be exposed to the big ramp at a younger age.
Yeah,
that's got to help a little bit.
Yeah,
kids that get the snowboard probably are a little more hip to that going up and spinning way up there like that. Mm-hmm. So they could probably cross train on the snowboards and do a lot of, they're just in it. And now a lot more of the parents are like, hey, that's great. Let's go do that. So they'll go to the skate parks or send their kids to the skate camp or be more involved in it. And I think it makes them get better quicker.
Hmm.
They're there. Folks are there looking out for them, feeding them lunch, and they get to probably skate way more than you. And you used to have to sneak off and be like, "I'll be back in a little while," and try to go skate some spot.
Yeah, or skate in your
to,
in your driveway. Put a little rail up.
After I was 12, I was past that. I want to go to campus.
Yeah.
But whose parents be like, "Yeah, I'm just going to set you free." In the middle of Hattiesburg, so you'd have to find some way to be like, I'm going to Billy's house and his grandma's going to take us around here and do that, and if you could just get out the house,
then you could
just
there.
Go all over Hattiesburg or anywhere we needed to go. You get caught sometimes, somebody saw you way down there, but it was worth it, and you get to skate better spots.
Yeah.
But now the kids don't have to do that. They can go to the skate park every day.
Yeah.
And it's not
sure.
stress.
I can tell you, churches always had good places to skate a lot of the times, because they'd have stairs and little wheelchair ramps and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. We'd always look for churches, banks, small parking lots, stuff like that. I always skated the Del Champs out here in Oak Grove when I was little. When I went to Oak Grove, they had a curb that went down the sidewalk. It was painted. I guess it's like where Gaddy Town is now, but I don't know if that was even there. But we'd wax that, and like see those people. Now it's pretty popular to do like slappy grinds and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we'd skate it like that and grind down the hill.
That's cool.
The first good flip trick I ever did was at the McDonald's in Oak Grove out of one of those little curb cut wheelchair bank things.
Yeah,
I did a very okay. But I thought it was hot stuff too. It's like, that's like a real trick.
Yeah. I remember I spent forever trying to do and this is what changed too. We used to just call it a 360 flip. Now they call it a tray or a tray flip, or everybody.
Yeah.
When I did one of those, I was like, you know what? I'm the best skater that has ever existed because I just did that trick.
Every kid thinks that.
Yeah.
I'll watch you go to the skate park. And when you get old, it's not really that worth it. Like everybody that skated learned how to do a 3-flip. Most of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just see the new come and they land that 3-flip. They're like, y'all see that? I'm going pro.
It's like, I'm too big for this park now. I'm going somewhere else.
That's one of the funnest parts of watching the kids grow up to it. You watch them hit that rise, like, they all want to go be a professional skateboarder or something like that, and some of them work really hard at it. It's interesting what comes out of them.
Yeah,
they get the broken arms and all that stuff.
So what does it mean to be pro nowadays? I know back in the day you couldn't make you could make a video, but you couldn't make like a legit skate video or have boards and stuff. People can kind of do that now with their phones and stuff. Like, is it easier to become pro? Or
the definition of a pro is you went through the under ranks, the AM ranks, and people want you to be a pro. You think somebody buy your skateboard, and you go to professional contests, and a company is paying you to represent their brand.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I guess, the highest end pro, you know what I mean? Like, I skate for Adidas and the skateboard company or whatever. But anybody could just get a board and put their name on it and say they're a pro.
Yeah.
But I think those steps are what would prove a pro. I went to smaller contests and proved my worth. When we would compete down at Waveland, it was Oakley contests. A lot of the AMs would come down there, and it sucked for us. Because they were really good, but I always took it as, well, if they're going to go off and be pro, they gotta beat everybody. So they go around and do that.
So
but I don't know.
So were you considered a pro? Were you pro skate?
No. Me no pro. I work at skate shop and own Brazen Skateboards. Now I would like to have a pro for my company. But he would need to go enter some professional contest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't even know what I'm saying when I say that. I'm just a little guy from Glendale. I don't That seems very corporate and all this. I don't think I could just go do that if I wanted.
He would have to provide some sort of benefit for you giving him free stuff, I'm assuming is what you're saying. Or he would have to not just be some guy.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't put somebody's name on one of our boards and try to sell it if he wasn't like the real deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like somebody. I want his board because I saw him in this contest. Yeah.
But that's. I mean, I don't know if we'd ever even do anything like that. I don't even know how that works. But I would like for a guy, or especially a local person, to get good, come through our shop, and someone see him and be like, "Oh, I saw you at this small contest. I'm, Thunder Trucks or this bigger board company," and he get to go there, but we got him to that part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's about as as good as we can get it. Or give him a reason to skate better.
Yeah.
And then someone sees his Instagram footage or something. I give them 20% off, the guys on the team, and I give some of them free skateboards. If I can tell they're really trying and they're breaking them because they're trying to, they're trying their best and the boards are just breaking. So do what you can there.
So you got a team?
As far as stuff. Yeah, but it's mainly just the people that try the hardest around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I skate all the time. We got a guy in Jackson named Nippy. He drives further than any other guys. He went out to California, made some friends out there, and skated with Chris Cole. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's pretty.
Yeah, he was
little
after my time, but I've heard of Chris Cole for sure.
Got a bunch of guys. Willie Nelson around here. His name's really Willie
Nelson. Wow.
Everybody likes watching him skate. He likes to go in the air, and he's tall and lanky.
Yeah.
So try to help him out best I can. And then those are the older guys, and then you got kids under. There's a dude named Chase also from Jackson. It's crazy watching this kid skate. It's Chase Williams on Instagram. And then there's even more. I don't want to leave anybody out, but you got River, Bailey, Jackson. Those three usually hang out together at the pedal skate park. And they all kind of feed off each other, and if one of them gets better than the other ones usually get better.
Yeah, it's always good to have somebody either to compete with or somebody that's coming up to get, I guess to compete with, kind of push yourself to be a little better each day as you're learning and stuff.
It helps. If no one that knows how hard the trick is that you did was there to see it, it's what I mean? It helps. Someone's there that's like, dang, he did that one.
It's like, look, Grandma just did this trick, and she's like, that's nice. That's real nice. It's like,
yeah, I used to make my mom try to watch me ramp my bike. Not as cool.
It's like, that's really good. That's a great trick. It's
I think you're gonna hurt yourself.
Man. Well, maybe I'll get a board and just ride around. I don't know. We'll see.
Get a cruiser.
Well,
you get a big fatty, and
that's
if you
hoss.
want to, you can. If you know what I mean, and you can ride wheelies on it and everything. But everybody should have a skate.
Do you have? Well, I do have a skateboard. Still, it's old. It came from Rapture Skate Park, so it's that old. I don't know how old. I guess over 10 years now. Wow. Yeah, over 10 years. Do you have one of your skateboards you can show everybody? One of your brands?
I do. Can you see it?
Yeah, hold it the other way, like long ways. Yeah.
This way.
Yeah. Was that a
Got
bear?
These ones.
With 3D glasses?
It's a bear, 3D glasses, coming out of the forest, and it says, Mississippi, United State, thou great untamed brute.
There you go.
That Quixote there. So we want to rep the state. And then a lot of these in different colors.
Oh, that's cool.
They're just shop name. We get them made in Georgia, and that guy makes super strong decks. It's called Drifter.
Yeah.
And we get to put a lot more input on it. You know, we want these colored layers here, there, and there, and he works with us, and we actually get to talk to the guy that makes the skateboards, and I like that way better.
Yeah, that's cool.
You do it before, you just prep.
So, how do like, I've never really even thought about this, but how did the big names like Baker or whatever, do they make them in house, or does everybody kind of go through a?
I would think the big names are probably made in Mexico and China.
Okay.
Now maybe a few in California. I think maybe Prime Wood's still made in California.
Yeah.
But a lot of the boards say Mexico and China on them.
So are there like premium skateboard decks, like these are handmade by this guy, or?
Not really. Now that the cruiser thing's kind of in, you'll get some artsy ones with a lot of cutouts where they use the wood grains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like cut the wheel wells out and expose it and stuff. But usually if you buy pro deck, it's supposed to be, top quality, and most of the pro companies will put out the pro deck and a price point. So for instance, this real deck looks cool, like, standard skateboard, but it's only $40.
Yeah.
That's their price points. Maybe it's recycled or it was a cheaper manufacturing process. But whatever they did, they made it cheaper. And then this one is the same company, but this board's $65, but you can tell the difference in the colored layers. And this one is a heavyweight and claims to be really strong.
Yeah.
So I think mainly, if you look in those layers, you usually want a colored one on the top, colored one on the bottom, and a colored one in the middle. That's standard strong skateboard there. And then these guys look like they gave you 2 on the top, which might make it not break up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do that. They break it on the truck holes.
Yeah.
Like that on top of the truck. So I think that board's kind of designed to prevent that. And they still make slick boards.
So that's 2 of the questions I was going to ask. So there was Element, and I never had one or saw one in real life, but didn't Element make one that had some sort of material in the middle that kept them from breaking at one point? Maybe.
I don't know. I never saw one. But I remember they made Uber lights, and then now Powell makes a flight deck, and Santa Cruz makes one. They're showing them on the videos, like running them over with cars and stuff. They just bend. And then the rep came in with the Powell deck sawed in half.
Yeah. And
somehow it's like that. It's got some kind of carbon fiber in it. I think it's similar to that one on this one, but maybe more of it. Most of the guys don't like them. I tried to get them for the dudes who break decks all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, they say you can't break this, and they say it doesn't feel natural. I guess they just rather
was the guy like a
break those and buy more.
Like a, I don't know, it feels natural. Maybe it doesn't pop right, or just doesn't bend, or
I think it may be too much pop and it's too stiff.
Oh yeah.
Rigid. Now the ones that don't break, I don't know. I've never ridden one of those, but it seems like those would be good if you're skating where it's raining all the time.
Yeah.
Wet a lot, but I don't know about skating street on them. But they last forever.
That sounds.
I haven't gotten one of those in yet.
That sounds like a good deal, I guess. Buy one. Not
they're
for
like $8. They're Powell flight decks. If you want to check them out, but most of the dudes who skate a lot just want that little wooden crispy deck. I think they like getting new ones.
Well, yeah.
Putting a board together and doing all that. And they work really good when they're new.
Yeah, I'm looking at Powell flight decks. Oh, yeah,
I'll show you one.
There's a guy running over it with a truck. Like a dually truck.
Yeah,
wow.
Push to the ground.
Huh. That's crazy. Yeah, and the other question is those slick boards. What is that? Like, it's just got like plastic on the bottom, or
Yeah, those came out in that. Well, first time I saw them was in the like late '80s. Santa Cruz made them. I
yeah?
got an Eric Dresden one, so they were cool. It makes it slicker. And back then you didn't have, everything wasn't nice like it is now. Like most of the skate parks, stuff you're sliding on is smooth, like
Yeah.
it's metal. Back then it'd still be like raw concrete. You'd wax it up real good, but it would like, dig big ruts into your board and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And put that on there, and it made it last a little bit longer, but that stuff would peel off too. They even made plates one time. You could just buy like a plate and stick it on the middle of your board.
Yeah.
They're doing them again. It's just called Everslit. I think it makes them a little stronger, but just a piece of plastic on the bottom.
Yeah. Didn't Tensor trucks? I used to have some of those, and they had like a plate that helped you grind, right? And that's what that. Or
on the front.
Yeah.
Like, do it anymore.
They don't do that anymore.
They've done everything you can think of to just tinker with this stuff. They had trucks called Z rollers.
Yeah.
I think it was in the maybe early '90s. Like a bacon pin. Like you're making biscuits with a roller.
Yeah.
So this right here was round, and you could buy new ones and put it in there, and the axle ran through it. But theoretically, when you grinded, it would roll. But everybody just boogered it up, and then it didn't roll, and you were just grinding across that thing.
Oh, okay. That seems like a good idea if it worked.
It does, but this stuff, it's not functional. I tell the moms, let them tear it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just buy it to tear it up. If he's tearing it up, he's skating good.
Yeah.
He's grinding his truck in half. Yeah, he's killing it.
The one thing when I would get a new deck is I'd always be so like that. When you first get it, you're like, man, I got a mark on it. I scuffed it up here. But once you got one mark on it, then you were like, I'm going to board slide all over this bitch. Yeah.
You want it to look like you're killing it, but the razor tail, nobody liked that.
Yeah.
And I can remember when I was young, like you didn't do that. Like you didn't stop that way on the board so your board would last longer. So if you let somebody, hey, let me ride your board, and they drug the tail across the ground.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you never on board again. No. You'd stop it with your shoe to save that tail because you didn't get boards a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you got one for your birthday every year, maybe, possibly.
You're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. So I was in my grandfather's barn one time, and I still have no idea where this came from, but my cousin was like, "Hey, there's a skateboard up under here," and it was like this little workbench. No idea. Nobody skated in the family, and except for me at that time, and it was an old Powell Peralta board. It was a Tony Hawk Powell Peralta, like the big one, like with the one-way board. You're supposed to go one way with it. And it was silver, and it had a hawk on it, like a skull hawk, I think. Yeah, he just found it up under his thing. I thought it was a pretty sick thing to find.
Guys keep it?
Yeah, I still have it. I was trying to find it before I got on the call so I could show it, but I'm not sure where it is. It's somewhere in my closet over there.
Just Google it when you find it. Maybe it might be worth something.
I doubt it's worth. I mean, it is like it was ridden.
They have these guys I see on Facebook. They collect that stuff, and some of them will even repaint the whole thing.
Let's see. It was called. Yeah, it has a little skull on it. I doubt it's. You figured it'd be the first one to come up. Tony Hawk Powell.
That dude's had.
Has to be 80s, I guess.
His son's pro now.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Ever since he's got that game coming back out, he's been all over the place.
That game was awesome.
Yeah, that's what like I think that got a lot of people skating. Just playing that game.
I think it made regular people finally able to understand it.
Yeah.
Like I'd go to work, I'd work with, guys that were in college or whatever, they didn't skate, but they were playing that game. And they'd be like, dude, I did this and that on that game and crooked grinds and all that. And they knew what they were, they knew what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good thing.
I have it here. It's a Tony Hawk Powell Peralta deck. Highly sought after chicken skull cross mini 7-ply deck in silver. It doesn't say what it's worth, but it had the original trucks. And,
sought after.
I mean, they're trying to sell it, so it could be.
Yeah.
Wow. $576 on eBay. I mean, I'm not going to sell it, but
I'd hang that on the wall.
yeah, I usually do have it hanging on the wall, but I moved recently. Well,
Gotcha.
That's fine. It's cool. It's a cool piece to have.
For
sure.
Part of skateboard history.
Yep. Maybe Tony Hawk wrote that one. So, real life.
Maybe. He at least knows it was made.
Yes. So, let me ask you a question, an honest question. Tony Hawk in the world of skateboarding is kind of a little corny, or is he not? I have a feeling like that most people don't. They're kind of like, eh.
I like him. And if you, he was put out there as the face of skateboarding, and his dad was involved with him the whole while he was a kid. And I hear his dad did a lot to get all that started.
Yeah.
When they were little kids with all the pads on and the bowls and everything.
Yeah.
So I think he just had to be a good kid. He couldn't really do all that stuff and act wild because his dad was there and he probably wanted to make him proud.
Yeah.
And then I've seen interviews with him where, he said he finally had to be like, okay, Dad, you got to go now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if he was in one of those CKY videos, it seems like he's got a good sense of humor in that hookups video.
Yeah. And
the end video, so I don't take him for like a dry person or anything. I just think he's got a job. And that's the way he chose to do it. And he's done well at it.
Yeah.
But
cool.
if you go watch, he did like 50 tricks at 50.
I saw that.
He did this one video. I think it's called Perched. And it was like, you hadn't heard nothing from Tony Hawk for a while. And then this YouTube video came out. And I think it was Perched. And it was just him skating that ramp in that place where he's always skating, little warehouse looking thing.
Yeah.
And he just murders like new tricks. Like, whoa, wow. So I'm still impressed by him.
He redid the 900. I don't know, recently-ish. He did it. He landed it. I don't know how. I mean, it's got to be a super hard trick if only I don't know how many people have landed it now, but it's not a lot,
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do it, just only on TV.
So I didn't explain this.
But he does.
For everybody at home, a 900 is where you spin around 2.5 times in like a vert ramp, which is shaped like this. So 2.5 times.
I think they're 1100s in that bigger black ramp, but it's not a true vert ramp where they do the bikes and everything.
Called. Nitro Circus.
Yeah, where they have like the resin looking pads on the ramps.
Yeah,
those kids are spinning 100 on there, I think now.
Yeah, they're doing crazy stuff.
They got the big mega. Yeah,
it's like a 30-foot ramp.
That.
I'd like to go see it because they do all kinds of crazy stuff. You think you can't get hurt, but there was a guy on a dirt bike and it was really hard to watch. And I've seen a lot of crashes, and this guy tried to do a front flip or double front flip or something on a dirt bike, and when he landed like he didn't make it all the way around or something, but he landed on his like butt, and as soon as he hit he went limp, and it paralyzed him from the waist down, like just like that. And you could see like the I don't know, pain or just whatever in his body, just like freaking out. You could tell he knew he messed up. It was really hard to watch. So they can still mess up on those ramps.
They do. It's not a, they practice and they, before they get there, to do it in front of everybody, and they got it down pat, but sometimes it just doesn't go.
It was,
but people want to see that too.
well, I mean, they're doing stuff that's, they're doing triple backflips and stuff on bikes.
Remember the guy when dude blew his shoes off years ago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He went up and came off of I guess he came off this way instead of just going straight up. He came off and landed too low.
So fast. I think if you lean the wrong way, I mean, you're just somewhere you shouldn't be, and you still got to come down.
You're like a cartoon character trying to swim back in. You're just like flailing as you hit.
Yeah, and it's happening the whole time, I'm sure. But most of the guys you see it on TV, they've gotten in that situation before.
Yeah.
You'd think.
Well, that guy only broke his foot or something. That's all that happened to him.
He knew what he was doing. It's just everybody remembers those shoes flying off. I think what's his name? Jake Brown? I think that was his name. I'll never forget that.
Blew his shoes.
He hit hard to blow his shoes off. I think they were tied. Everybody knows loose shoes fly off, but I think I remember his shoes were tied on and everything.
Knocked his shoes off. Oh, I bet it didn't feel good though. I can guarantee that. Yeah. So yeah. But about your shop, kind of, if somebody wanted to check you out or stop by, like what are your hours? Kind of what do you offer?
We're open 11 to 7 and closed on Sunday. And we carry mainly core skateboard stuff, Spitfire wheels, bones, Indy. I've been leaning more towards those shaped boards and cruiser boards because some people want those,
Yeah.
But I try to always have whatever you need to make like a real skateboard you can go kickflip down some stairs with at the skate park. Like I'm gonna have that.
Okay.
Always.
And I guess you got apparel too, or?
Yeah, we got lots of hats and beanies, and I try to match it with the hard goods.
Yeah.
So like I go hard on Spitfire wheels, so I got a lot of Spitfire t-shirts and the 3/4 sleeve shirts and some of their bags and the hats and the beanies, independent hats. So you can come in and get, if you got your board, you can get a shirt and a hat and everything that goes with it. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So every day but Sunday. So you work 6 days a week? Nice.
I do. Mm-hmm.
So if you need a skateboard, head over to Brazen. It's right in front of Walmart in Hattiesburg. What is that, 49? That's not 49.
98.
Oh, 98. The 98 Walmart.
We can fix a lot of them if you just got a bunch of parts that you don't know how to get them back together.
Yeah.
This was an old board. I don't know if I should buy a whole new one, or is any of this stuff still any good? Just bring all that, and you'd be surprised at maybe what you can still save sometimes.
That's cool. And I guess you got all the major deck brands as well.
Black Label is one of my favorite ones. Real Slave, the Jamie Thomas Sky Zero company I told you about. This board.
That's cool.
Day One Song, you heard of him?
Yeah.
And Corey Pudwell, they got a brand new company called Thank You. They got their stuff. Yeah, I try to keep up with whatever, but I like Baker and Flip. You've heard of all these brands. I like the ones that have been around for a while and they put out videos.
Yeah.
So you can board and then go watch the video.
Yeah, Baker got really popular a while back. It was just they weren't. I don't think they were around when I was skating. If they were, I didn't never notice them. But
I think they came out around 2000, and it was like Baker Bootleg, something like that. And then the Baker 3 video is what I think made him the most famous.
Yeah,
it still was on YouTube.
I always liked Enjoy skateboards. I had a couple of those. I like those, and Girl, because Costin was one of my favorite skaters.
Yeah,
Girl, and then Birdhouse was the first
Stop.
one I got, but
Birdhouse is cool.
yeah.
They still make boards, and they got Jaws. That guy, you've seen Jaws? Jumps off of everything real big. And they got a chick named Lizzie. She's my favorite girl skater. She can do like hand plants in the bowls and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're doing good. And Clive Dixon, I think he's on there. I don't want to say he is, and he's not. But no, it's not a corny thing or anything. But they were a lot of the guys that were on Birdhouse years ago went on to Baker now, and I think that Tony Hawk, Andrew Reynolds had some business workings together. Like I think Birdhouse distributed the Baker boards in the past when it was the bigger company.
Yeah.
Now that Baker's the bigger company, they have Baker boards distribution, and I think they're all on that now. So it seems like they're in it together a little bit.
Well, that's cool.
Why not? Tony Hawk and Andrew Reynolds can't lose there.
Yeah. Yeah. So if besides your board, what deck would you buy? What brand right now? You got one. You can only buy one. What would you get?
Black Label.
Black Label. There you have it.
Sure.
There you have it. Black Label.
They're just. I've ridden more of those than any other board probably.
Yeah.
And they made the best videos in the early 2000s. Like, you could be 25 or 28 and watch one of those videos and be like, I'm going pro if I just work hard enough. They were like blue collar, just dudes out there in those videos. Fun to watch.
I remember I didn't watch a lot of the skate videos coming up, mainly because I guess they weren't around. Maybe they were around. You just had to go get them or something. I don't know. But
yeah, you had to actually go get the VHS or the DVD.
Yeah. But I saw a video and this guy this might not be shit anymore, but the guy went up to like a ledge type thing. I don't know where you could jump up to it and roll across it. And he did a kickflip to a 1-footed back manual, went all the way across this thing and then kick flipped out. I was like, holy shit. And that's just like
that's standard move these days.
Wow.
They can do a 3-flip nose wheelie, nollie 3-flip out. That's what it's gotten to. Lots of practice.
Man, I saw since the Tony Hawk game is coming out, they're like going back and interviewing all the skaters from that game, and they interviewed. He skated for City Stars. I think his name's Kareem. I don't want to say the wrong.
Campbell.
Kareem Campbell.
That's his name. Yeah.
And he was talking about the ghetto bird, and I saw it on the game, but I never saw him do it in real life. And that's a pretty sick trick. And he made that up.
Yeah. The kid at the skate park does it, named JoJo.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard flip, and then you catch the hard flip, and then turn another 180 on the way down.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
It's something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah.
Like as
and
you
then
hit.
They had some where you could do the hard flip and then revert it. But it's one of those, it's a little combo, like a hard flip thing.
Yeah.
I can't do it. No.
I can't do it for sure.
I can do a frontside flip, but not the ghetto bird. But yeah, Kareem Campbell. I got that game. I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater when I lived on Deer Run in Oak Grove with a pizza. And it was a demo. You might not know they used to give out demo games.
Yeah.
And I got Kareem Campbell. I could only be Kareem Campbell, and I could only play level 1. And I played. That's it. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Because you could do the tricks over again. So I just played that for days and days.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
Now
I knew they were smart. I was like, I'm gonna have it.
Now they time limit demos. So like once you've played 5 minutes, it like shuts off or something. I don't know.
This it was just like the game, but you got one character, that level, and here I am doing everything I can. The Superman song that was in there.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I think if anybody's watching this that is slightly interested in skateboarding, they know every song off of Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yeah, I played it so much, and we would make different versions of them. We heard them so many times.
Yeah.
We had this one. How did it go? I can't remember the words to it, but we would say "chicks with chest hair, chick to chest." I can't remember the words of the song. It sounded like they said that.
Maybe they did.
Better than the rest.
And then they had Jerry was a race car driver. Maybe that was on the second one. It was on one of them.
I was a huge Primus fan as a teenager. I went and saw them a bunch in New Orleans.
Yeah.
When I was probably 17. Oh yeah. Go to the Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
And at State Palace. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them before.
So, I hadn't seen them in a long time. We went and saw the Sausage Band once too, because they came out. I guess it was the band before Primus, but then they made a CD after that.
Yeah.
And we went down there and saw that. Mm-hmm. But I don't do stuff like that anymore. That was just when I was a kid. Fun.
Last band I saw was Blink-182.
I know who that is.
Yeah, you ever heard of them? I saw them, and it was with the new guy. Tom wasn't in it, but I did see them again earlier with Tom right before they broke up.
He's doing conspiracy stuff now too, huh?
Yes.
Didn't he get into that?
He is deep.
I thought I saw him on there. I haven't watched one of his yet.
He's deep into it. But here's the thing though. So he went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and everybody was like talking shit about him because all he talked about was aliens and conspiracies and stuff.
Right.
And then here recently, the government released all those documents that he was talking about. And he was like...
Everybody's got... Yeah. Those guys will come out and say stuff that you just don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
But did you see the one where they did Alex Jones and it sounded like he was completely insane? And then Elon Musk said the same thing, but it was in Elon Musk words, and they played them side by side. They're pretty much telling you the same thing about AI.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's crazy and he's a genius.
Well, here's what I think it is. I think Alex Jones is very abrasive, and if you don't look past him being a crazy, he acts like a crazy person, like he's yelling.
Yeah, but isn't that part of the show?
Yes,
I like to watch. Yeah,
but he does say some stuff, like he's just ranting, and I think people automatically assume he's crazy. It's kind of like when Jesse Ventura came out and was talking about 9/11, and I remember one of the ones he was on. I mean, he was saying good stuff. Are you into conspiracy theories? Are you?
I'll watch a few from time to time.
Okay, so I'm big into conspiracy theories, and I was watching. It was Jesse Ventura, but the way he was dressed, which is fine. You shouldn't have to change the way you dress, but he's on a big national news program, and he's got like these weird like double things, and the way he's just dressed odd. And I think most people kind of look at, oh, you look like a crazy person, I'm not going to take you seriously. That's kind of what maybe why it went that way. But I mean, he comes in and goes, hey, do you remember the Gulf of Tonkin incident? And everybody's like, no. He was like, well, the U.S., I won't get into it. The U.S. made up an attack so we could go to the Vietnam War.
I'm into this kind of stuff. I got into it like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I went, Bill Cooper.
Yeah. I
liked his stuff. The Pale White Horse. Alex Jones, all those movies that he made. I mean, they were pretty cool 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I watch his show every night, but I'm like, if I'm watching it with somebody, I'm like, hold on, he's going to cry in a minute. But I'm not disregarding him. That's just, he's got kind of a rhythm to it, how he does it now. And it's entertaining to me. But a lot of the stuff that he says, you don't have to disregard it. You can go and look it up.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah.
And my whole thing with the conspiracies, a lot of that stuff's a cult, and people won't, when they hear the word, they're like, what is that? You know what I mean? But a lot of that stuff, you got to kind of see what that means to see what any of that was. And then it's sent down a bunch of rabbit holes. But
yes,
in the times we're living in, I mean, some of that stuff kind of added up. to not be so crazy. And some of the things that I've seen, I don't know how to explain them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even on the YouTube stuff. But everybody's got an opinion.
Look.
And
I can tell you this. Right now, YouTube is censoring the hell out of anything that is slightly off the what everybody thinks is true path. If you Google the 5G conspiracy, I don't know anything about it, but every time when I see a conspiracy theory or any kind of topic that might be something that maybe something else is going on, I like to at least look into it to know if it's bullshit or not, So I tried to look up, 5G, and YouTube won't allow it on there. If you go on there and
they put David Icke off. He put one out, and that was the big thing. They just dropped him right off of there.
Yeah.
And that's everybody was like, oh, there's something to it.
And they're filtering comments now. So if you go in and say something if you say something negative, like go to any comment, go to a video that's a bad video or something, you go to the comments, they'll filter out all of the negative comments, and everyone will just be like, who's here in 2019 or whatever. They're starting to censor a lot of stuff. You can't find anything on YouTube anymore.
There's more money and time spent on making sure you think the way you think for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a mainstream to this that's contrived, and you can see it. Once you can see it, you can see it.
Yeah.
You try to tell people about it, they usually double down and, you're crazy or you're a Christian or some shit like that. And you're like, well, I'll just look at it. And
yeah.
But, it's okay. It's okay. But I guess it's there. And what would a person do, even if believe in conspiracies and stuff. All right. So I don't know, man. The COVID thing, the whole thing, it just adds up.
Yeah.
So much that this one side is trying to have its way, and then you research, and it's a global thing, and you can really sink your teeth into that shit if you want to.
So what's your opinion on COVID? What side are you on?
You don't want to say the wrong thing right now.
You really don't.
I am blessed. I thank God that I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
That my mom and daddy don't have it. That none of my friends have it. That none of their friends have it. And nobody that my mom and them know have it. And I know people have it. I just know a lot of people, and I'm glad that none of them have it. And that's all I know about that.
You're glad that you don't know of anybody that has it.
I'm very grateful for that.
Yes, very grateful. That is a very good thing.
Yes.
So
I've seen a lot of the whole thing with the mask and everything is just, it's a little too much, because then you got people bossing you around that are just employees and stuff, and that's weird.
Yeah.
They're supposed to, I guess.
Yeah.
So it just makes everything suck a little more. But obviously it's real.
Yeah.
People have died. When you look into the old folks home thing and all that,
mm-hmm.
It is just so much stuff being dumped on the human being right now on just media.
Well,
if you turn all of that up.
If you look at, and this is one of the things about the media that everybody says, we have become the media. If you get on Facebook and share something, you're essentially being the media. Whenever you share, Donald Trump did this, he's an asshole. You share it, and especially the people that don't read what they're sharing. There's a lot of times I'll see an article and it'll say something, and if you go and read it, it's not really what was happening. You become the media, and you're putting out
That's the only reason I became a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I was never a political person, always took myself as it's just skateboarder dude didn't have to deal with that. And then you kind of see it sizing up. And then I asked the guy, like, how could you vote for him? I was just like everybody else. Like, look how strange he looks and this, and that. And anything I could think of to make him be a clown, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that guy said, I don't have a choice. I'm a Republican. Which didn't make me really like Donald Trump anymore or anything else. But now I had to know what that meant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even really know what any of this stuff was. Like Democrat, Republican, this or that. Just watch TV like everybody else, consumer. And then the conspiracies on top of looking into that, it all adds up at the same time. And then if there's Qs out there, whatever that is, and Kennedy did get shot in his face,
Yeah.
Long time ago. It sure happened. And things ain't exactly fair in all these institutions that everybody have to pay into. You know what I mean? So if a guy's going to come along, I noticed when they pointed him out, he could take it no matter what they did, but then he would be like, what about you? And it might be a month or two later. And then that person that was coming at him really hard had something to hide. And he kept finding all that out in our government. And if he can do that, well, hell yeah, let's do him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Like if we're the United States of America and we're supposed to be free, and he seems like he will go through some of these dirty institutions and clean them out, or at least air them out. And I could be all wrong. This could be all a big game that everybody's being played on, that it's all fake.
It's all puppets. I mean?
Yeah. you never know, but you got to live a life,
Yeah, I think Trump is. I'm not a supporter of Trump, nor am I a hater or dis-supporter of Trump. Would I vote for him? Probably not. But I would. I wouldn't vote or not vote. I don't really have an opinion. I don't think he's as bad as everybody says, but I also don't think he is the best president we've ever had. That's my opinion on Trump. I don't think he does everything great, but I don't think he does everything bad either. I think
that he is a great human being. Now, I'm not saying nothing bad about the guy or anything. I mean, we've all seen him up until now. He wasn't a preacher.
No.
You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to come off and have this higher ground. He was, you're fired. And everybody liked it. But then this president thing with him is nothing new. I've seen a few interviews where, he might be tossed in the hat for that or whatever he was doing. I didn't pay attention back then.
And that's what I don't like about the internet right now. Like, I kind of feel like anything you say is kind of put under a microscope, and you could get in trouble for saying something.
As far as that goes, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm not really that concerned with money and that kind of stuff. I'm old. And if I could do anything to make all this go away, I'd do it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what fight are we in? How do we fight it? I don't know. And then you try to study it, and it's this new silent war for new times. And it's like, is that what this COVID is? Like, no one's going to tell us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not going to tell us for sure.
Confusing. So at the end of the day, with all the conspiracy stuff, all you can really be like is there people that know things that we can't understand? That's why it's always been someone above us.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've always, the Bible and the Greek mythologies and stuff, they give you things to look at and be like, this is the God of this, this, and that. Because maybe people couldn't understand that back then.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in time, I think everybody's getting to where they can take most knowledge or whatever there is, so they should go on and share it, or whatever it is that keeps one man over another.
Yeah.
And if they have done this, it's put us all in, what's it called? There's natural law, and there's like man's law and all that. And like, law should be more natural. And if everybody was on an equal thing, I just don't think it would tear down like that as much as all these people having control over other people. as far as even the way we treat people, because it puts another person, it takes someone's power away because this guy's this, and we all agreed to it.
Yeah.
Which I'm getting confused here. And then I know some people are smarter than other people, but we don't really have the right to abuse people for nonviolent crimes. You know, a lot of stuff's out of hand on this power level.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from the top down. So if we could fix that, or whatever that even means, you know? I don't know. Is there
a puppet master or a group of puppet masters?
Is there predators in our institutions that govern us? For sure.
Yes.
But they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
How do you expose those when it's gone on this long? I don't know. I'm not that smart. I just can only pick up on little bitty things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a right and a wrong, and this don't feel right. So
that's good.
Let's get it that way. Well, I mean, when I studied the media, they took everything. They poison the kids. They poison everybody with bad behavior. And I'm only saying this because I'm guilty of it. You know what I mean. But I can admit that I'm wrong. I can admit that the music I listened to growing up wasn't good for me. But I don't know that I have the answers to fix any of these things. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if we had better representatives and better messages, then things could be better. But everything's marketed and money and this and that. And this is just the same thing from the beginning of time. This Adam and Eve story.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, I heard a guy talking one time, and there's giant guy in caveman times. This is just like an example of how it could have started. Giant guy, big buff guy is out killing all the animals, bringing the food home, getting all the women, and in whatever kind of living arrangements cavemen lived in. And then there was the skinny guy that was smarter, but had no chance of killing the deers and getting the women. So he made up a magical being that told him what's right and what's wrong, which gave him control over the stronger guy. And that, even the Catholic Church became and still is a powerhouse for.
No, I believe the Catholic Church is control, because they wouldn't, people couldn't read back then, and I heard they did the mass in a different language or whatever.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of religious stuff, read a lot of books, been to a lot of churches, and the best thing I've found is the Bible.
Yeah.
Not having somebody read to me or tell me what's in it, not assuming what's in it. I'll read it, and I'll even listen to it on YouTube. And most of the things they say in there are things you're going to come across in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also an occultic book. It's not just literal. You know what I mean? If you have discernment in a lot of things, when you read that, you kind of get different things out of it that maybe, it's not as plain to everyone.
Yeah.
But maybe it is. But even on the literal basis, thou shalt not kill, the 10 Commandments is that there's no reason to scoff at that.
Yeah. But do you need the book to tell you not to do that?
I think.
And does thou shalt not kill cover murdering pedophiles and murderers themselves through capital punishment?
Then that's where we get into, you have to split all the hairs to have a society. You know what I mean? Because everything's kind of gray. Everything crosses over. Even if you're like, this is that and this is that, they still a lot have a crossover.
Mm-hmm.
In different animals. So as far as, we have that worked as a guide to go by this far. Can we think of anything better? What does that look like?
Mm-hmm. See,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that another institution that makes all the rules?
My
if I believe in God, then the police are here to protect my God-given rights.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. And we all agree to that. If I believe in the state, then whatever, they can change whatever they want. And I have no room to stand on because it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
But we got the Bible and those words, and, you know, I'd rather own up to the... When I think of God, I think of everything that is good and everything that goes into the world to generate and make things. You come out of it and you go back into it, and it keeps going, you know?
Yeah.
So I try I want to live up to that if I could, or whatever, you know, but religion's weird.
I think that people should be able to do whatever they want, but I think they should also be held accountable for whatever they want. So I think as long as you do not affect someone else, you're good to go. And that goes down to
sure.
That goes down to most policies that I would believe in. I've never had a leader come out with that. It's always been, there's always some kind of rule that is unfair to somebody, or it's illegal because we said so, or you can't do this because of these regulations that we put into place. So I don't know if you need a religion to tell you that, or if it's something just ingrained in all humans. What makes us different?
We're obviously, as humans, not caught up to another group of people who are more caught up than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody wrote that book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, they knew a lot about people, whoever wrote that book. It's written by the scribes or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
if you want to think it was created, by a guy, even if it was, he had a lot of insight.
Yeah. Well,
how to try to.
The Bible was written over, I don't know, thousands of years, hundreds of years, by a bunch of different people. Like, for example, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were written, the earliest was written 50 years after Jesus' death. And the other ones were 100, 150. They probably weren't even written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There's all the whole Bible is more of a collective tale of different people throughout history, and even the Catholic Church has admitted that there are extra books of the Bible, such as the Book of Enoch, which Enoch was one of the people that did not die, like Peter. He was taken straight to heaven.
Right.
Apocrypha.
He just walked up there.
Yeah,
no, that book's good. It's got the fallen angel stuff and all that.
Yeah, and all the layers of heaven.
Cool.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
There's two of them, actually.
Yeah, I tried to brush up on the Bible or whatever and see all that. And I heard they found pieces of it in Ethiopia. And then you see the shows that are well, these are just stories retold from even ancienter times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do believe that could very well be true. You know what I'm saying? But they're telling those stories for a reason. Even if they had to change the names in them or whatever, it's just something to try to get across points to us as humans. And, I don't know what else would work besides that.
Yeah. Well,
can you hear that?
Yeah. I would just say, as long as you're not hurting someone else, if you want to drink alcohol in your home, that's fine. But if you want to get behind go drive, then you're putting other people at risk that had no choice in you drinking. Your drinking's affecting someone. If you want, that kind of stuff, I think is how it should be run.
I think anything in error is a sin. If you wanted to make things a sin, if you're going to work, we all kind of know what's right and what's best, or you would like to think you do. And then if you do things in error, you might learn from them, but you want to make everything go the best it can and generate. So,
the thing I think when it comes to religion is nobody can decide, especially with the Bible, what the actual rules are. So is it wrong to marry a different race from you? There's arguments that some Baptist churches are like, No, that's wrong. I've heard them say it, that it's wrong to marry
Right.
outside of your race
think
because there's a
if
Bible
you
verse
read
that
it,
says it.
a lot of the verses that I've seen that people will snip out that says that. No, I don't know. This one might say that plain as day. I'm not familiar with it, but it didn't necessarily say it in that way or something. You get what I'm saying?
It's the one about
Most
being
of the stuff
unequally yoked, which is supposed to mean don't marry
Right.
somebody that believes in a different religion or is not the same as you.
Right, but and now if you don't put race into it, that might mean like someone, if you were to marry a woman who's not up to your mental not standards, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not hip to all the things you are, it might not be a good idea.
Yeah,
Might
well,
wanna, you know,
that's what I'm
a
saying.
mate that's more
Like you can't. Not everybody has a level head about the rules in it. Some churches won't let you women wear pants and they have to cover their head. That's in the Bible. Some do. Some will say you're going to hell because of that. So who do you decide to make the laws of the country based off the religion? Which
think anybody
religious?
gets to cast anyone to hell, and I don't think anyone gets. When I try to look at it, the Jesus stories. You know, like no one was perfect, so God sent this guy to try to show you what a person could be that was level-headed, non-sinning, just trying to do life.
Yeah.
And you know, the story goes up to the state. The state took him in, and then he asked, you know, the people, you want me to kill him or, you know, the murderer or whatever. It's just the symbolism of it, you know, is like he came to show you what it'd be like to not sin, but everybody in the world kind of doubled down on their sin and hung him for exposing it. And I just think there's lessons to be learned in it.
Yeah.
More than to just discard the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've even seen things where Mormons took the race thing with it. I'm not trying to call out religions or anything.
Oh, the Mormons
like-
definitely
like
had
like
race
colored
problem.
people are the son of Cain or something like that.
Oh, they
I
thought
just
that
advise people.
the Mormons literally think it's in the Book of Mormon that you can pray Native Americans into white people. I'm not joking.
That was as they thought of, but I haven't seen too much in the Bible that I have that and I can't say that I've just read it line for line and know everything it says in it. But you know, I got to teach my daughter something.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach her everything I know and all the mistakes I've made and what I've learned from it. But on a social scale and on the media, I mean, you know, Bible school's not that bad for her to go to.
Yeah, I mean, there's
there's
nothing inherently wrong with it unless someone perverts the Bible. If somebody tries to make it, you know, you can't have, you know, you can't do this because I interpreted the Bible this way or something, you know. But there's good stories in it. You know, be nice to your neighbor. You know, help the poor, help the blind, help the sick. That's all good stuff.
And you can not go. It's a lot of not going with the mainstream, and you know, you can purify yourself and help yourself through that. And I don't think there'd be such a war against it if it wasn't beneficial. I just think it's been used in some bad ways by governments. And then, I mean, you see people on TV with the eye of the devil preaching. You see that little guy they show all the time, but that's just money, and that's like of this world. And I like the stuff in the Bible where it's like you don't need the stuff of this world. It's all inside of you.
Yeah.
You know, and that stuff's true. And I'm a believer. I think that the world is so big. I can't understand how space works or how clouds work. And I mean, we all try, and now we have the internet, and we all think we know just how everything works. There might be some things I'm not big enough to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can just take points of truth from different books, that book, and I'm not going to say that none of it's not true. And I'm going to try to, by the time I'm dead, have some sort of understanding and go, if I can go to something that I can understand, go to it. And I've read other books and listened to things that aren't anything to do with the Bible, and they're more, I don't want to say like Masonic and stuff like that, but like Manly P. Hall and people like that.
Yeah.
He'll say things, you don't want to leave here with unfinished business. So maybe you got to come back, and kind of trippy, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff like that things that are happening on this plane matter. Yeah. And I don't want to mess up, you know what I mean? If I don't have to.
Well, there's one, the Hindu faith and their version of karma and reincarnation. It's kind of cool. Their whole thing is if you live your life over and over again, but as somebody else, I guess. I don't know the exact details. But essentially, you keep living your life till you live your perfect life. So you keep getting to live till you've done it right. Then you get to go to the next life, which sounds pretty cool. There's no
which could be, and in different words, you get to go to heaven.
Yeah, you get to go. Every religion has a heaven and a hell.
That's why I don't feel like, oh, this or that's wrong. They could all be points of truth in them all. So learn from them all. But I tell you, the thing in all of them is y'all got to make this work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's up to y'all. Y'all got to make this work. And they tell you the Pharaoh, he's not going to help you. These Sadducees or whatever they call them that are just working against the common person. All those books are kind of trying to tell you, like, you got to do better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're pissing off God. He's going to destroy this city in the Old Testament.
Oh, he did. He did in the Old Testament.
So in the time that we live in now, is that what do? We all fixing to fucking die. You know what I mean? Corona's going to kill us all.
Something's coming.
Out of the hospitals. And I watched CNN the other day, and it started with body bags being drug off the thing. You could hear it. Off the boom. Off the boom. I was like, y'all think they're trying to scare people? You know what I mean? I don't know what's fixing to happen. I don't know what all this is, but we damn sure ain't doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who knows,
me and
man?
You ain't doing it. Me and the neighbor ain't doing it, as far as I know. But I mean, what is it? I watch that news, and those people will say, "Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask." I mean, are you fucking with me? Is that what's going?
I think.
Is that not how?
I think people just don't have enough information, and the news organizations have to constantly have something on the air that is breaking news, because they can't just be like, you know what, guys, what we said yesterday, keep doing that. We'll see you tomorrow. They can't do that. Every day's got to be, oh, well, we heard the mask, but did you hear the new thing that might be coming up? Now babies are getting it in a rare disease. Yeah, click this ad to find more.
I was skating Sunday, a couple Sundays ago. My dad calls me wanting to know about the murder hornets.
Yeah.
He was curious. He thought it might be something. I'm like, Dad, the chance of you dying from murder hornets, like getting struck by lightning.
Probably.
Go sit on the porch.
You're probably way more likely to get struck by. Well, the thing was, that came out, and it had a scary name, and it was a scary looking bug, and there was a few of them in Washington or something. And
how old are you?
How old am I? Is that what you said?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish the murder hornet.
Yeah, but that's what it was. So the news, there wasn't much going on. You notice when the murder hornets came out, there wasn't a lot of change, and everything was shut down. There wasn't any plans to open it. Everybody was just chilling. That they had to have another story to fill up their ad needs and people visiting their pages.
The old people.
Yeah, so that's what it was. Murder hornets, or Southeast Asian, whatever they call, have been on Earth for a long time, and they kill people every year, but just not here in America. And there were a few in America, but it wasn't an invasion.
I saw a dude go to wherever they come from and let one sting him.
Yeah,
it swelled up real big. Like, if you got stung by like a dozen of these, it'd probably kill you.
Yeah, I mean, so will bees, though. Like regular ass bees.
The reason that's it. The reason I was asking how old you were, I'm 40, almost 44 now.
Yeah.
And in my life, the Africanized bees was going to get us when I was little. And that was all over the news.
Yeah.
CFC, chlorofluorocarbons from styrofoam, was putting a hole in the ozone.
CFCs, yes.
They still sell styrofoam cups every day. So as a consumer, how is this your fault?
It's. I guess it's supposed to just terrify you. Fall in line.
So they don't quit making the cups, but quit telling me it's my fault for using them. I can't use them if you don't make them, but that was a big thing. It's all your fault. You dirty humans. You use too much hairspray. You used the CFCs. Got a giant hole. And this is in like 1982 or something, bro. I'm like, it was
in the 90s. I was alive for that.
No, they do it before. Go down the Time Life magazine. It starts in like the 60s, and they're like, you're gonna freeze to death. You're gonna burn to death. The bees are gonna kill you. This disease is gonna kill you. Da, 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 da. And it's just, it's a pattern.
Y2K.
And no one's dead.
Y2K was one.
Y2K. Yep. And so what is the conspiracy though? Why can't we fix it? What is it? I'm just a dude sitting in a skate shop, and I've watched enough YouTube videos to be like, hey,
something.
What is the word?
Yeah, I'm 32, by the way, so I'm about, I don't know, 12 years younger than you. But
well, you've been around long.
I've been around.
Have lived life by now.
A little bit. I have a child and I'm married, so I'm in the older people's club now.
I have one daughter and I hardly ever see her. She lives in Georgia.
Oh wow. Well,
I love her. Her name's Laura.
It's not good, but
no.
Well,
but it's okay.
Just FaceTime or whatever. That's one thing I found was good.
Yeah, she loves that. I go up there and see her sometime.
Yeah. Well,
we get any content?
We got tons of content, and we're coming up on 2 hours here, so I don't want to keep you all night. But I really, after finding out that you were deep into stuff, the conversation took off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always skated, and skateboarding's cool, and I like the skateboarding. I like running the shop, but the things that have been going on lately, have got my attention a little, and it's been a good 10 years of that now.
Yeah.
And I don't see, and it's home now. I just watched Hal Marks just get his ass handed to him. Did you see that? The mayor for Pedal?
Oh yes, I didn't know that was
they
his name.
They just went up there, and everybody went up to the microphone and pretty much cussed him and said, "You need to quit now. You need to quit now."
Like they did that recently, tonight?
It was before you called. I was watching that at 7. I didn't get to finish watching it all by 8, so you can watch it on the Hattiesburg Patriot thing on.
Wow.
I don't want to get in trouble for saying that, but whatever. But
someone's gonna knock on your door and be like, "Hey, man."
Really? I don't know. It's like there's a good wolf and a bad wolf. Don't feed the bad one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy for me to sit here and be like, I know things and I know how to make things work better.
Yeah.
But I do not. I don't have any power. The only influence I have is skateboard and stuff. You know what I mean? And
yeah. That's not a bad influence to have.
It's not. But most of the guys who do this could care less about that. And they, you're not going to convince them that Donald Trump is anything.
Mm-mm.
Everybody's like, screw him, screw that. He sucks. So I'm
an
island. I'm a small island in the skateboard community.
Yeah, people hate Trump. It's like with a passion, and they will find any reason to hate on Trump. I mean, I can tell you why. He's
with you.
He's goofy. He's a little goofy, and he doesn't really act super professional sometimes. Which, as the president, I think he should act a little more presidential.
He should. But Bill Clinton came out and said, I did not have sex with that lady, and he did it.
Exactly.
So who we comparing him to?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Clinton
You can
wasn't.
act like, well, he's not presidential.
Well, at least he wasn't. Yeah.
Okay, well, who was?
As far as we know, he wasn't getting BJ's in the Oval Office with the intern. So, who was worse?
His policy. I don't even know if they're all true because they say this and this news, that's news true, and this news ain't true. But you see him doing a new policy every day that benefits somebody. You always see people coming in the Oval Office and being like, thank you for doing that. Mm-hmm. So I think we don't see that part of it. I think people see him do it. Oh, he still sucked. You know what I'm saying? But what else could he do besides pick these things that he thinks needs addressing, address them the best he can, and hope you approve? I mean, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, you could not pay. You could not pay me enough to be the president of the United States. I don't know. You can't win being that.
Who would want to do that? And I don't think he wanted to do it.
He was like joking, and then they were like, "Hey, man, you're really getting some stage."
No, if you look back, he's been thinking about it a while. And I don't know if you do that QAnon stuff. You ever looked into that? The Q? Check that out, because there's a whole new dynamic to the conspiracy theory on this. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, so the Q thing, now you'll have to go watch him later. It's a Q Anonymous, and he puts out, like threads. You'll see the people at the Trump rallies with the Q, and everybody makes fun of them. Like, look, they think it's some kind of secret thing. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be the military, the president, and all the people who are trying to overthrow the Democrats since Kennedy got shot. And this is so conspiratorial that maybe JFK Jr. ain't passed away yet. Maybe that was just maybe he's coming back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just have to watch. This is a thing, and it's showing that these people are coming against the deep state, and they're the ones that are stopping the pedophilia. It's got total Alex Jones, baby eater, vampire, all that. And these guys are saying there's tunnels and everything. I mean, it is far out. How can you make it up?
Are you talking about QAnon? Anon?
Yeah.
The new American religion? Pro-Trump conspiracy theory?
Well, see, you're looking at the
other side?
They're going to tell you that we're all crazy. Like I said,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. It won't tell you regular one. It says QAnon conspiracy theory creeps into mainstream politics. The prophecies of Q. I'll look at it.
Yeah, it'll add a dynamic to all this for you. But if any of that's for real, then I mean, you just don't know what it turns this into a giant battle of good and evil.
Look, man, I could go deep. I could go deep into what but the thing is like when you start putting this stuff on the internet, that's when I start to think, man, what if I say something that catches a nerve on somebody?
I know. I got a business license. I could easily be like, goodbye.
Chamber of Commerce comes knocking on your door. Hey.
But I said nothing about any local politicians, man. I'm just on my YouTube videos that anybody can go watch. I didn't make none of this shit up. I just watch TV.
I think it's all silly. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I am a giant dumbass from Glendale, Mississippi. If you believe anything I say, then you got what you had coming in.
Oh, man, that's great. Yeah, I'll look it up. QAnon, Canon. I don't know.
Okay. So since when I got on the conspiracy theory stuff, I met a few people with some symbols attached to them. And I would ask them a great deal of questions. And this one old man was about to die. He wouldn't tell me too much. He'd give me books and stuff. And one time he told me, I was like, well, I'm trying to get all this, and I just really wasn't getting it. And he said, you're standing in a river dying of thirst. You need to just calm down and chill out and enjoy the world, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then before he died, this was the whole battle of good and evil thing. I was like, well, why is this happening? Blah, 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 blah. You got to tell me if you know. What is this? And he said, well, there is a battle between good and evil going on. And I said, well, why is all this rushing this way now? Why is it happening right now? And he said, the time's up. Everybody's got to make their move.
Shit.
I was like, what does that mean? What I mean?
What'd he say? Did he answer?
He died weeks later. He didn't tell me nothing but that. You get what I'm saying?
Time's up.
He didn't tell me anything.
Everybody's got to make their moves.
He said the time is up and everybody's got to make their moves.
That is fucking terrifying, is what that is.
Very cryptic.
God.
Yeah. But cool dude, you know what I mean? And I don't think he'd tell me something wrong.
Yeah.
But I always like, why is this happening now? Why do I have to deal with this? And he was like, well, tough shit. Now's the time. Have to enjoy it.
So God damn it. You
wanted me to come on.
See, and I can be honest, I did not expect to get into a conspiracy conversation with you. And it kind of it kind of caught me off. No, look, that's one of the things I've been trying to get somebody to come on the show and talk about. But most people don't want to talk about it. They're all scared. Yeah.
I mean, I'll bust out an entire conspiracy theory show with you and go hard.
Dude.
And I've been studying this stuff for a long time, but it's fucking crazy, dude. And Joe Rogan get away with doing it. I don't know if you can.
He can. Well, you know what? Have you noticed as he started getting more popular, he stopped and started going backtracking on everything that he used to believe in.
I know, and that's when I started questioning him and all the kids. They love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And I'd say, he's cool. Be like, you don't like him, Papa? I like, he's from Hollywood, bro. Just leave it at that.
He did.
Think about it a little bit.
He was, because like every episode he'd be talking about something. Now he'll still talk about aliens and stuff. But now, like, if you say anything, he's like, nah, that's bullshit. That's not real. But he used to talk about
Hopefully he's going to the new thing. Because Alex Jones came on there and said when he switched that, he said that Joe Rogan was going to try to get whoever he worked for to be cooler about it. And he could do it. He felt that he could do it. And then they did it to him. They shadow banned him or something. I don't know. And he got pissed, and now he's going there. And Alex Jones is supposed to be his first guest.
Really?
So, yeah. So hopefully he can say what he wants to now if he wasn't able to before. Whatever that means. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
I heard that Alex Jones was his first guest on September 1st, and Elon Musk would be his second guest, and that they were all headed to Texas. Like everybody was, Texas is the new spot to be. But I'm talking out of my ass and just shit us on TV. I could have it all screwed up. But
that's
something like that.
That is very interesting. I did not know that. Alex Jones.
The king of conspiracies is William H. Cooper.
Yeah.
Behold a pale white horse. They killed him in his yard. It's another rabbit hole for you.
Killed him in his yard.
Somehow, the police even own up to it. There's a little YouTube video for it. He would do the seminars, and he aired all this stuff out, like all the government programs and the Luciferian stuff and all of it.
Yeah.
And even, he goes all the way back to like stuff like this is called like Protocols of Zion and stuff like that. It's crazy. But they went to his house, the police, and with the music playing loud like they were teenagers partying because they knew the guy was hip and wouldn't just come outside. He came out with his pistol, and once they saw he had the pistol, maybe they shot him. I heard that he was running away when they shot him.
Huh.
But I'm not trying to get into all that, and I don't want none of that heat, but this is a book. If I can get it, it can't be illegal, right?
Or can it?
Okay. God damn it, I can't believe we're doing this. This guy's been dead a very, very long time, okay?
Yeah.
This is very old. Okay?
Yeah. Huh.
We're living in that.
I'm telling you, man, there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on. And my theory is they're not going to tag us like we think they are. We've already been tagged, and I don't think you tagged. I don't think you have been tagged because you told me you carry a flip phone, right? So our phones are See, our phones are already tagging us. We pay with it. All of our accounts are on it. Banks on it. We buy our food from Walmart from it. We can check out with it. Your picture ID, your face scanned ID. Eventually, it'll just get smaller and smaller to where we're wearing it on our wrist, and they'll say, "Well, you can't check out unless you have your personal computing device on you." We don't have cash anymore because it's dirty. You can't give cash back and forth. The virus is too dangerous, so you got to use.
That's why COVID is scary.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, it's the phones. It's the phones. We've already. Yeah, the new iPhone. Everybody says don't worry about that. No,
not that the COVID tracing. So now, like, say I download this COVID app on my phone, so they know where I've been.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you don't download it. It's on there.
So I go into COVID nest unknowingly.
Yeah.
Come back home. Does that trigger something? I know somebody's going to come and ask me a bunch of questions and shit.
It 100%. That's exactly what it does.
Don't want it. If my daughter gets sick with COVID, we'll all die together. You ain't taking her. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about shit I'm not even dealing with. That's not as
if it got that way, which there's a two-sided sword to everything. You can look at it as this is some crazy shit that's about to happen, and what are we going to do about it? And then there is this is actually a good thing. Now imagine if you knew everybody that was running it, and you knew for a fact that there wasn't any nefarious underlings going on in the government. That would actually be a really good, helpful app to help track the virus and where it is. It's really a good thing. But, as a person who's been lied to, the government has lied to us before and done things. Right. You question it, which is healthy to question it, but we still don't know if it literally could just be a good, helpful tool that we need to have.
So why it all blurry? And most humans can tell truth. They really want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this feels weird. It just feels weird. And, I just had the daughter recently in the last 10 years. I ain't never known nobody with polio, mumps, none of that in my whole life. Not a thing. But in the last decade, they brought it up constantly. And then some people realized maybe I don't want to do that, or maybe that was all contrived just so you could have freaking people arguing and virtue signaling over who was going to do it. And now we're here.
Yeah.
So now there's already two tribes is what I'm trying to say. Like now we're here with this vaccine going to save the world and this and that. But we picked our sides over some bullshit earlier already. I'm a vaxxer and I'm an anti-vaxxer. And now here we go on this.
Do you want the vaccine or not? Yeah.
Feels a little set up. Yeah, I don't. Here's what I want. You can do whatever you want. Anybody can do whatever they want as long as I have the option to not.
But
without any kind of no guilt.
The issue, though, is, well, I guess that kind of negates it, though, but is if you choose not to get it and then it keeps spreading and perpetuating,
right?
And especially with a virus that will mutate and keep coming back.
Right.
I don't know why. I guess here's what I think. I think COVID came out and nobody took it seriously. Then it got so much attention that our governments had to start worrying about it. But no one knew anything about it. So they had to pretend that they were experts on it and they knew what to do, knew how to do it. And then as it's changing, they're realizing it's not as deadly as it was. But they can't just say, oh, we were wrong, everybody open back up. Because what if they really aren't wrong? Nobody knows really enough to give a solid answer.
They're wrong. Right. This is America.
Yeah.
And I can do whatever I want. So
but
I don't want to take.
You can't do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt someone else, which is the same thing as I can drink, but if I drink and drive, then I'm hurting someone else. Same thing is I'm just saying the argument for making people get the vaccine is if you don't get it, you could hurt other people by getting it and spreading it.
No, but when I hear it said to me, like I totally get it.
Yeah.
Right. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it's this thing and I don't want to get it and spread it around and kill everybody. But right now, we don't know about that. Right now, we're just kind of seeing what happens if I say yes or no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say no now, and I'm going to get everything but the ability to say no and walk away. I'm going to get told, well, what about this? What about that? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just think you should be able to not consider things you don't want to until there's facts on it. It just seems like I don't want to rush in and just go get a shot.
Yeah. And I wouldn't think most
say,
I'd say most people wouldn't. But a lot of people probably would just be like, yeah, let's do it. Go ahead and give me the vaccine. I personally wouldn't like to take something until it's been tested and proven to work over years and years.
And here's the deal with vaccines. There's so much of that weird stuff going on with them. And then if they can show me a picture of people being deformed by them and bad things happening to them from them, then I'll take my chance with the disease. And that's just with the kids one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if my daughter had a chance of not being able to be aware as she could be, or maybe getting the mumps or polio, let's take that chance. Because I could beat that, and I don't know if that's going to make her autistic or whatever this stuff does.
Mm-hmm.
But then at least that came naturally. You know, it just happened to happen.
Yeah.
But if I did that, and I don't have my daughter, so I don't want to hear a bunch of shit, he don't get his baby shot. You know what I'm saying? Fuck off. But if it was up to me, and there was a 1% chance that if I did that right there to her and I agreed to it, that it could mess her up, I would take my chances with nature. Because that stuff ain't that bad, right? I don't know anybody with mumps or polio. You know what I'm saying? Or
they're going to say because the vaccines wiped it out, which is,
right. So
is
if
true.
Your kid is vaccinated, then what? Can my kid give it to your kid? Maybe. See, it's just all feelings and shit.
They can perpetuate it to other people that weren't vaccinated, and then keep it.
We got this far, and it's going to get worse to where you can't be left alone if you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact of being left the hell alone, I've had enough. I don't even want to think. Leave me alone.
Let me skateboard and then sell some.
Or whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying, dude. We're just bantering, you know?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. I know what you're saying.
But I have a pretty good life. Nobody comes over here bothering me. I'm not like trying to be like, the cops are bad and they come here. And that doesn't happen to me. You know what I mean? I have a fine life. Everything's fine. Everybody over here gets along. All I can do is be me and try to like say this kind of stuff to people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want.
I think the biggest thing that would help anybody is for people to be aware of what's going on and not just take the first thing they see or article's word for everything that they see. question everything and have a little bit of skepticism on anything, unless
Well,
you,
it's
unless someone goes and like, you know, if you walk and open your refrigerator and you see there's a gallon of milk in there, you can be like, yeah, there's a gallon of milk in my refrigerator. But if somebody
Right.
on the news goes, hey, milk is sold out, at least go like, is everybody saying this, or is it just this one person on Facebook that
right.
shared
You
an
got to go
article?
see it's gone. So,
Yeah, at least
like I can tell you, it's hot.
I think that would solve a lot of problems in the world today. But the thing is you can say it from both ways and have a compelling argument if you twist it like a news station would do. But people are doing that. You can say, if I went into a store and bought a drink and walked out, it could be like, man goes and visits shop and helps shops stay open to afford more days and pay for his children. Or
Right.
the other side that wants to hate me can say, man goes into store and only buys one drink. How's that going to help pay for the shop owner's kids? You can,
Right.
both of those are completely true statements, but it's all depending on how you want that story to look. Instead of saying, here's what happened. I went in the store and bought a drink, and that's the end of it. That's all that happened. The other stuff's not my fault.
We could keep it that simple, but we're being played.
Yeah, we're being
by
played.
the TV.
100%.
We all turn. When I research media and TV, you know, after World War II, man, they laid it on us.
Hell yeah,
Here
they
you
did.
go. Here's what you need to be like, and they made a character for just about everybody. You know?
Yeah.
And then they caught on to that, and it has not stopped since. So it's just as easy to be like, hey, man, I'm vape. You know what I'm saying? And lose myself. What I think all this is.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
I don't. And
the Vietnam War, here's all you got to know. And this is what will make you question everything. It's completely legitimate. It's not a conspiracy theory. It is a straight up fact. It's in, I don't know where they keep historical records. It's in the government records, wherever the hell you want to find that. There was an incident before the Vietnam War called the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which is a body of water in over in off India or somewhere. Let me see. So, anyways, during this,
familiar with it.
yeah. So the USS Maddox, they said that the Vietnamese came over and destroyed our battleship and killed our troops. They killed our troops just fighting for freedom, for our freedom. They killed them, right? So everybody got pissed the fuck off. And they're all like, yeah, let's go over there and kick their ass and let's join the Vietnam War. And we sent all of these people, drafts. Remember hippies dodging the draft? Sent all those people. And, you know, I know people that have had family members that went over there, didn't come back, came back with, you know, mental scarring, losing limbs, and dying.
Ain't that a weird form of like black magic?
But check this out. 50 years after that, or however long after that, the U.S. government comes out and says, okay, that never happened. We used that to get everybody mad at Vietnam so they would support the war because nobody was supporting the war. Okay?
Yep.
Boom. That right there shows that they'll lie to get their agenda. And I don't know why they wanted to go over there. I guess I could look into why they wanted to go to war. But war makes a lot of money. War's a money machine. So 9/11 is another one.
False flags.
False flags.
I mean,
so
people who won't believe in a false flag at all that it can happen, are the people who won't look into any of this stuff.
Yeah,
they just can't believe that what happened to them.
That's a fact right here. Gulf of Tonkin incident. I'm looking at it right here. So yeah, the government will lie to you, but you know, there's all kinds of things. Look, I'll tell you what. Why don't? Because we're coming up on 2.5 hours on the show.
My thing's almost got 2%.
So why don't we wrap this up tonight, and I'll have you back on, and we'll do straight conspiracy theory.
Okay, but you see, once you got conspiracies that chirped up a little bit.
Boom. Yes. That's what I'm into, man. So yeah, let's do another one. I mean, if you're down, we'll do another one, and maybe because I was focused on skateboard, and then that popped off, and I was like, yeah. So I think we could have a really good conversation, and I can actually look up some stuff.
You still want? Well, it'll be cool because it's like an introduction, and then we can kind of get into the conspiracy part, and then carry over to the to the next episode.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. That's what you said.
Yes. So
sorry, man. I'm not playing. Fuck, dude.
We'll get together about a time or something to get back on that.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, man. So everybody out there, check out Brazen Skateboards if you need skate parts, wheels, bearings, decks.
Fix them, church them up, make them better than they were before you came in, whatever you need.
They do all of that. Got apparel, stickers, I assume, all of that. So, yeah, dude, it was awesome talking to you.
Right.
Probably one of my most interesting podcasts so far. But yeah, we'll get together and we'll have another one. Y'all make sure and stop by for that one too. And I'll go ahead and wrap this up so I can, I guess, hit the hay, as they say.
Yeah, I still got get some supper.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. I guess get with me or I'll get with you and we'll plan something.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And like I said, this was my first time to try anything, so I'm
You did
sorry
fine.
if I was like choppy
No,
or whatever.
You did.
Okay.
You did fine. You did great.
Okay, thanks, man.
All right,
I'll
man.
talk to you later.
Talk to you soon.